Good evening. My name is Thurman Greco, and the name of this show is Let's Live with Thurman Greco. We are the Woodstock Show, coming to you from scenic downtown Woodstock, New York. And this evening, the show is all about the tarot. I'm going to talk about the pages. They are the court cards, and they're kind of a challenge for a lot of people. And then I'm going to have a little short class about reading for yourself. I read a lot of cards for people who have cards. They have decks of cards, but they don't really do much with them. And I think that that's a waste of money. We all need to get to the point where we're comfortable using our cards. So we're going to get there. But I'm going to start off by reading a short meditation that I call Today. Today, give yourself permission to be the person you choose to be. Take command of your thoughts, emotions, and all those things which make you who you are. Breathe in vitality, charisma, power, energy, and everything which ensures your success. Beginning this moment, give yourself permission to radiate power, confidence, and everything vital for your survival and success. And beginning with this moment, in every way, give yourself permission to accept your talents, desires, money, and everything else in the world that is important to you. And finally, and most important, give yourself permission to receive positive gifts from this world. Thank you. I'm going to start with the court cards. The court card, for many people who read the cards, and for many people who receive readings, the court cards are a real question mark, because you start off and you have the spread and there are some court cards there, and I always tell people that that's people in your life, and a lot of people say and they're not really ready to recognize who that can be. And so we need to think about the court cards. Realize when you do a spread, when somebody does a spread for you, whatever, when there is a spread on the table and there are court cards, these are people in your life. And they are people that you know. They are relatives, friends, neighbors, whatever. They can also be, a court card can be you. It can be yourself. And they can be representative of something in your life. So it's a kind of a complicated relationship, but basically think of the court cards as people. And if you have a spread, if somebody gives you a reading and you don't know what these court cards are, take a picture of the spread with your phone so that as the days go by, you're going to think of something, because they're there. They're part of your life. And they're really confusing to learn. I know that when I was learning tarot, I was very confused by the court cards, and I didn't know, I couldn't relate to them at all. And I can remember that my teacher said, okay, now what I want you to do for homework is I want you to sit down with the tarot card and look at it for a while and meditate on it for a while and see what happens. Well, even that wasn't a total answer, because the court card that I had in front of me the next day was a king. And the king started walking back and forth on a stage, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. So I felt like he is somebody in my life, or is somebody who was in my life, in which there was a relationship that I was having trouble communicating with. But that was an opening, but it was an opener, but it wasn't a finisher. So it comes, the kings, the queens, the knights, and the pages depend upon us and what we're willing to grasp of the spread. And you have to realize if somebody's putting a spread down and it's 2 or 3 cards, that's one thing. But I do a Celtic Cross, and there are a lot of other spreads out there. There are thousands of spreads out there. And there are a lot of spreads that are more complex than that. When you get 10 or 12 cards on the table, then you're probably not going to remember everything that you saw or heard. So that's why I recommend you take a picture. And I know that in my spreads, I have booklets that I share with people, so that when they go home, they know, so that when the client goes home, they know, okay, I saw this and this and this and this. And that way, in the coming days or weeks, you can bring up some of the information that you received. And some of it you're not going to bring up real quickly. It needs time to kind of settle in your brain and settle in your heart and settle in your soul. So you kind of you need a few days. And that's really where the court cards come in, because some of these cards, when you see that card, it's dynamic. It captures the stage. It is front and center. And a court card is not always that case. So you may recognize something intuitively, but I have had people at my table, and up came a couple of 3 court cards, and the person would say, "Oh, I know who that is. That's my son," or that's somebody at work, or that's a boy. So people do know. It's the ones that you don't recognize right away that you kind of have to pay attention to. And also, the question arises, is this person that is represented by this card in this spread, does that person have a positive relationship with you or a negative relationship? What is it? Is the person knowledgeable, or do they bring up questions? And some of these cards can be life-changing. There are cards in the tarot that are definitely life-changing. A 2 of Swords is definitely a life-changer. And for me, an 8 of Wands is a life-changing card. It's a very enlightening card. And if you connect with it, you get a lot of wisdom. And so the same thing happens with court cards if you learn to relate to them. So think of the court cards as relationships. You have relationships with these cards, and you just need to kind of figure out what is the relationship. The cards have a voice. Each card has a voice, and each card has a message. So that's the court cards in general. Today we're going to focus on the pages. A couple of weeks ago we focused on the kings, I believe. But the pages are the youngest people in the tarot. And you think of them as being, 9 to 12 years old. But with a page, it's really more complicated than that. Because A page may be for a woman or a man sitting at my table and who says, that's my son, or that's my daughter, or that's my grandchild. That's a person. And it takes on a name and an age and all of these things. But a page can be more than just a stage of life. It can be more than just a starter person, as it were. Because there are some pages who have a certain surprise about life and fascination with life and a love of life that's going to stay with them forever. That's not going to just go away. It's going to stay with them forever. So a page can also be a personality type. And so when you look at these pages and you don't know who they are, try to think of, well, who do you know that might be a person, but what about the personality, So pages show up because you're asking questions, or they are asking questions of you, so that they are bringing up questions that are going to enlighten you. You may be seeking information, and you may be seeking advice, and maybe you need encouragement. Sometimes a page, the youth, and because you think of a page as a being in a subservient role, because it's youthful and it's in a learning mode. Sometimes that can have a lot of an impact on you, as opposed to a king or a queen. But the page can surprise you. And they can also be healing. Because of the youth, pages are sometimes very truthful. And because they are truthful, they're going to bring reality up to the surface and give you a chance to wrestle with it. And then that, of course, brings up ethical situations. Because only a young person, there are special questions that young people ask that no other people ask, because people are too old to ask that question. So the page really offers you a lot. And so not only with questions, they may come with a message and news. So there's quite a bit involved in what the page is, who the page is. And what I usually like to do in a spread is I like to ask the person at my table, the querent, I like to ask, here are these pages on this spread, or maybe there'll just be one. Who is this? Do you know who this is? And what is your relationship to this person? And sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're saying, no, I don't know. And then that's when you know that in 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 hours or what, the message is going to come through. What the page is trying to teach you is going to surface. It isn't going to surface right now because there's all this other stuff on the table. So this message is going to come forth later on when everything else is settled in, all the dust is settled, and then up comes this message. So pages have their own importance. The first page that we're going to talk about is the Page of Wands. And of course, wands have to do with work. And a page is free spirit, and a wand page, a page of wands, explores and learns and is a free spirit. This person is a messenger out to enjoy life and to begin something. A Page of Wands would like to have an adventure, would like to do something, would like to have a job, and enjoys living life for its own self. Everything is new and fresh, new beginnings, and a lot of energy. And whatever, I'm talking about a Page of Wands, but whatever page it is, whether it be Wands, Pentacles, Cups, Swords, whatever, it's a first adventure. When it's a page, it's a first adventure. So you can sometimes think about, well, maybe this is my inner child when you see a Page of Wands. And you can be inspired. You know, these cards can inspire you to move forward in your own way. Maybe the card is going to inspire you to do something that you've been kind of holding back on. You know how sometimes we think, well, we're going to do something, maybe it's procrastination, maybe it's not, but we're just kind of, well, I don't know. But a Page of Wands likes to offer different options for you. And to dream. A Page of Wands likes to dream. A Page of Wands works on your creative energy. And a Page of Wands is happy with the simple joys of life. And they're looking for experience. That's a page thing, but it's also a Wands thing. So you encourage opportunities when you meet a Page of Wands. And a Page of Wands is eager, excited, and important. I have a story about a Page of Wands. A Page of Wands sat down at my table in a coffee house late one winter afternoon. A petite young person. This page had enough gorgeous hair for 3 people. We all know when somebody walks in and there's all this hair and it's the most gorgeous stuff you've ever seen in your whole life. That was this page. Long, thick curls, all heads turned as he walked in. And frankly, I didn't know whether I was looking at a young man or a young woman until I saw the mustache. And certainly, the curls, the long, gorgeous hair wasn't going to tell me, but I cannot see anybody who could grow this kind of hair ever cutting it off. I think I'm at a crossroads and I want to know what might be a good way to go, he said. The different life paths he described were all uptown problems. This was a page for whom all things were good. Obviously, this young character was manufacturing opportunities everywhere with his attitude, with his wonderment of life, everything. A student at an area university with grades to die for, and his life was just beginning. We discussed his options. It became clear that whatever he chooses, it's going to be fine. I mean, you know, we know these people. There are some people, you know, who can do anything. I was never a person for whom mathematics was fabulous. Chemistry and physics were never going to attract me. I was on another brainwave. But this kid, anything. So whatever he chooses to do, his path will be energetic, creative, and positive. And one thing is sure. Now this is a Page of Wands. As he travels on his journey, he touches our lives and he gives each of us a gift. That is pretty much a trademark for a Page of Wands. Got a free spirit, and we're all going to have a good time. So there are some rituals that I offer for a Page of Wands. And one is to be simple, to be grateful for the simple things in life, Be grateful for the sun, be grateful for the beautiful clouds, and take time to dance and to hike in the forest. And finally, explore anything that sparks your creative juices. And so those things for this page of wands, those things were peachy keen. So I have a meditation also on a page of wands. Go to a private, safe space and get comfortable. Most meditations say, go to whatever, go sit down, whatever. I think you have to be safe. Turn on some healing music and light some of your favorite incense. Remove your shoes. You may prefer to keep your socks on, but remove them if possible. With your hands, massage your feet. There is no wrong or right way for this introduction. The intention is to allow your feet to feel free and improve the blood flow. Now, rotate your feet in circles at the ankles. You may be able to do this without holding your feet. You may just be able to stick a foot out and rotate the foot. If your feet do not rotate comfortably, hold them in your hands and rotate them manually. Allow your breathing to relax and allow it to become slower and deeper. And now, stretch your feet in every direction. Move your toes to the left and right, and move your toes up and down. Continue with relaxing breaths and pay attention to the muscles and the tendons in your feet. Begin at your ankles and comfortably massage your muscles and tendons down to your toes. Loosen anything tight, any tight muscles, any tight anything, just loosen it. And if you feel ticklish, this is time to have a stronger touch. We know from reflexology, if a person is ticklish, you need to go deeper. Run your fingers up and down the soles of your feet and tune into your feet now. Notice any thoughts, feelings, and experiences and sensations that you experience. Now move to the tops of your feet and calmly massage them. The idea is to relax and loosen the muscles, tendons, and joints on the tops of your feet, beginning at the ankles. And tune into your feet again. What sensations do you experience in your feet now? It's time to return to your day now. Let your feet rest for a moment before putting your socks back on and your shoes back on. Take a moment to thank your feet for all the places they take you and send them gratitude. And enjoy how your feet feel as you go through your day. Our next page is a page of cups. With a page of cups, you're looking at love. This is an emotional learner, and this is a spiritual being manifesting the physical. In other words, sometimes we think of ourselves as being physical and manifesting as. Well, a page of cups manifests as a being. So they're all about lightheartedness, youthful, imagination, and sensitive beginnings, and all about love. As young as they are, there's a romance. There's a romance involved. And think of the page of cups as a message. What is the universe trying to tell you when you meet up with a page? How do you see it? This is a good time to be open to miracles, because with pages, they can happen. and surprises for sure. If you don't have a miracle, you definitely are going to have surprises. And imaginations are very, very active. So a Page of Cups focuses on imagination, romance. They focus on being lighthearted, and they focus on being sensitive. And they bring messages. With the Page of Cups around, you get inspiration from the strangest places. And don't try to control this process. Just let it happen. You've got this page here, and you're going to have positive thoughts, dreams, wishes, and you're going to see magical things. And just keep the faith. Whatever's coming next can be a time of important healing. It can be wholesome. It can be truth. It can be honesty. And something is being born now. An idea, a concept, a dream, but something is being born now. The future. This is where your future is beginning. So my story is, when the young woman sat down at my table, I knew that I was getting ready to spend time with a very special young soul. I'm here on vacation with my parents, and we're here for a few days up from the city, and I'm curious about how things are coming my way this year. I found myself face to face with someone creative, enthusiastic, and experiencing opportunity. You know, some people are surrounded by opportunity and they don't even know it. This one, everything she touched, smelled, heard, saw, whatever, everything was an opportunity. And she was exploring all of these opportunities as if she really only began on this life. It was very interesting. Sometimes you meet people and you realize this is an old soul. This is somebody who's been around the block around a time or two. Not this one. This was her first time, and she was bubbling over with this energy. She had enthusiastic promises, and I'm sure that her future is going to be very positive. And she's on her way to take control of her situation, but she's a page. She's very young, and she still has a lot to learn and discover. And she's got a crush on life. It's filled with possibilities and inspiration. Whew, what a reading. And I would say some rituals for her would be using your dreams as a window into your subconscious. Keep a dream memory journal to help yourself understand your deeper self. And schedule fun activity now so that you can have good time surrounding yourself with people you trust. And do not get dehydrated. Hydration, hydration, hydration. Because of the wavelength of this page, life will be more smooth if she's motivated, if she's hydrated. So I have a meditation for her. Relax yourself in your favorite private place. Your body will be more fully relaxed as you straighten your spine. Begin slow, deep breathing, inhaling slowly and deeply from your abdomen. Exhale now, slowly and deeply, and continue to take several more deep, relaxing breaths and release them slowly and easily. With each exhale, you become more relaxed and more peaceful. Toxins and tensions are leaving you with each exhale. experience a very peaceful feeling and deeper relaxation. Open your eyes now and find yourself in a beautiful garden space. In the center of this small space, you see a rug, and you walk over to it and sit. And you get comfortable on this small mat, and you notice that it is moving. The rug you sit on lifts off and floats upward. You ride this little carpet up above the trees and the rooftops, gently gliding into the sky, and you find yourself floating with fluffy clouds. As you float upward, you look down and you see houses and trees, and the buildings are becoming smaller and smaller. While the sun warms your skin and your body, you look around and you see the earth as a large blue ball. As your carpet carries you upward, you observe the outside world from a distance. You feel a new relaxation that you haven't felt before. This is a deep feeling of belonging and interconnection among all living things. You don't feel isolated, but instead you see yourself as an important part of this whole. You feel that this connection involves a contribution that you are making to the world around you. You're connected in a way that you have not been aware of. As you continue rising, you see the earth as a ball of light. You are seeing something that you have never seen before. You sense now that your carpet is slowly descending and returning toward earth. You begin to see clouds and then mountaintops. And as you continue to descend, you see treetops and buildings. You see roads and countryside. Returning to the space where you began this trip, you feel you are returning relaxed, free, and prepared to embrace life and responsibilities and obligations. Take a few deep breaths now and become aware that your body has been energized. It's been rejuvenated. It's been energized. Open your eyes and take a deep breath and embrace your peace. Our next page is a page of swords. This is you're looking at a different personality now. This page is a leader in training, and this page is learning how to do it all. And this page shows potential. And when this page talks, there are many questions, mostly beginning with why. And reading and writing skills go along with the questions. And we all know these young people where we've said, oh, this one is just asking questions all the time and all the time. That's a page of swords. And as she seeks guidance, she's asking these questions because she's seeking guidance, he or she. This page is seeking guidance. And when this child asks these questions, this child is seemingly older than she is. Now, the Page of Cups was like very, very youthful. Some young pages of swords are really ancient. And you can tell if you pay some attention, because they like truth. And some of these kids have a little bit of a streak of revenge. So there's it's a whole different personality, a whole different vision, a whole different outlook. And this page, if you pay attention and if you're listening, this one's going to grow up and be a leader. The tongue is very sharp, The mind is very quick. The attitude is no nonsense. And this one sees truth. And you know, some kids, they open their little mouths and out it comes. That's this one. This page is honest and has an unending thirst for anything new and anything that has value, because this child is asking questions. And she doesn't edit her questions. She's got questions coming right from the very beginning. And they can have conflict. The questions can be conflict causing. So this page is a warrior. There's a warrior streak in this page. And this page has a potential as an adult to become a warrior, and can be very good in a warlike situation. This is a bold child, and this one does not back away from the truth and does not back away from justice. And she is constantly exploring reality. So this is a little page that you don't want to, don't underestimate this one. You shouldn't underestimate any of them, because as you listen to these different personalities, you've got each of the personalities is distinct. And I've got a story, a page of swords, who is a girl. And she's one of my favorite page of swords. She's both curious and intelligent, so she's always seeking to study and think. Study and think. Study and think. She's at the university this semester, and she signed up for the most challenging physics, math class, and she signed up for something else I cannot even understand. This young page's cause is the environment. So you realize anybody who's going to take on the environment is in a battle because of the situation on our planet. Clear thinking and dedicated, she knows how to absorb hard information, and she knows how to work hard. Her brain works hard for the cause, and all the time she can be charming, she can be clever, and she has the gift of gab. And she loves all animals. And she communicates with them. I think she was born being an animal communicator. I had to go out and learn it. She was born that way. And she was born with many other talents as well. Clear thinking and dedication to the environment. She knows how to take useful hard work and make it pay off. And personally, I think we need more Page of Swords. We need a lot more, because we've got a battle. And it's getting harder and harder every year. And she is one of these soldiers. And I think I have some life-changing rituals here. Keep plants in the house and open the windows when you can. Skip the fruit juice, but eat the fruit. And the next time you find yourself worrying, remind yourself this: think positive has many wonderful benefits. You just have to find the silver lining. And for a meditation, I say, let's get quiet again. Go to a safe and private space. Turn the lights down to a comfortable glow in the area. Light a candle if you want. Put on some healing music. Make sure the space is comfortable for you, neither too hot nor too cold, and get comfortable in your favorite meditation position. Focus on your breathing now and notice the rhythm. Notice how with each out-breath, your breathing becomes calmer and more regular. With each in-breath, you relax more fully. Pay attention to your in-breathing now. Follow that in-breath as you track the air when it calmly enters your body through your nostrils. Feel the air as it moves along the back of your throat and down into your lungs. Continue this breathing for a few more minutes until you feel completely calm and relaxed. Now, feel your body. Every cell, every organ is now doing what it should be doing in harmony. So let yourself feel capable, effective, and responsible. Feel stronger as you work more easily and overcome challenges more easily. Feel stronger and more effective now. You know that you can return to this meditation space whenever you want as you return to your day. We're getting short on time now, but I want to encourage all of you who have a deck at home. You know, whenever I read tarot, I always ask, do you read your own cards? And a lot of the times, yeah, I do. I read them for myself. And a lot of the times, well, I got this deck, but I haven't done anything with it. So I am in the process now of encouraging you to if you can find that deck, dig it out, unpack it, shuffle it, and get to know it. If you have never really done that, take your tarot deck and divide it up. Take the court cards, pull them out of the deck, and put them over on one side. Take the major arcana cards and pull them out of the deck and put them on one side in one pile. And then take the minor arcana and put them over to the side. And then, if you still have some energy for separation, take the 4 aces and put them to one side. And just see how the cards are divided up into 4 sections. And when you start learning about the cards, just don't feel like you have to learn this whole deck. You can just learn a few things at a time, one card at a time. For the past 40 years, I have been reading tarot, and I'm still reading tarot for many people in all walks of life and from all over the world. They live in this country and they live in beyond. And they come to my table because they include Woodstock in their travels. And when they stop at the Mowers Meadow, they stop and visit the tarot booth. And you know, tarot is good when you start thinking about using the tarot. Tarot is good if you have questions about love, money, the future. We all have questions about the future now. Healing, romance, personal purpose. You know, why am I here? I'm looking for a job. What are my options? Discovering yourself. That's so important. You know, pages on one level seem to know who they are. But then on another level, a lot of us do not know who we are. And as we approach midlife, as we approach adulthood, it's for a lot of people, it's like, well, I'm not real sure right now. So discovering the self is really important, and finding your personal purpose is important. Seeking peace, trying to find that point of peace in your life, and for self-reflection. So in seeking involvement, seeking enlightenment, seeking fulfillment involves sorting out problems while you go within. Whenever you're here to seek anything, you've got to figure out, what do I have going on within myself that I need to work on. So what you do with the tarot is you explore life. And the thing about the tarot, when you divide these cards up into these stacks, you can take any card in the tarot and you pick it up, and it's got a picture. And that picture is a universal story. And the most of the decks now, the basic deck, if you don't have a deck and you're thinking about getting one, get yourself a Rider-Waite deck. You get a deck that was painted by Pamela Coleman Smith. Her pictures are incredible, and you can go within yourself holding any of those cards, which is an incredible thing and very important. So you explore life with tarot, which is a great thing to do. And when you seek answers, when you find answers, when you seek answers, you strengthen your soul. So if you have a deck, then it might be time to haul it out. And then when you have a question, if you can find somebody to read for you, which is what happens at the flea market when people come to my table. They have a question and they go to a person, and that person reads the cards. But you can also read for yourself. And reading for yourself means that you work things out within yourself. There's no third party out here to interpret for you. It is reading the tarot, just holding the cards. You don't have to know what they are, just holding the cards, looking at the pictures and saying, wow, look at the colors, what are the people, what's happening in the background, how is it going. Those things are all a guide for self-reflection. So it's an important thing. So you get insights from the tarot. And you don't have to know what the tarot is before getting insights from the tarot. You just look at the card, look at the picture and read the card. And if you have a problem, if you're trying to gain some insights, and for whatever reason you feel like you have gained those insights, you may want to go to another person who can read your cards for you. And that's what people do when they come to me. When you go to a reader, a tarot reader, you receive a lot of insight because you get insight from outside yourself. And a reader can focus on your issues because I ask a question. Everybody has to come up with a question. And you can confirm your own reading. Say you saw something in some cards and you thought, well, my goodness, what is that? Well, if you go to a tarot reader can look at them and they'll see it in a different way, but they're going to be focusing on the cards. So whether you go to cards on your table, whether you go to another reader, you are going to examine your options. Just looking at the cards, examine your options. You can investigate the potential outcomes. And you can gain some insight into what is likely to happen. And you can explore information that you find, because each one of those cards has a story to tell. And your cards can focus on your healing. And you have an opportunity to learn at your own pace. So these are things that are happening. There are some times when you should not read the cards when you're on your own. Do not read the cards for yourself when you're depressed. Do not read them when you are a nervous wreck. Do not read them when you keep asking the same question over and over and over again. And don't read them when you're too tired, because when you're too tired, you're not going to get the insight that you need. And when you are seriously worried about something, do not. Do not. So, there are times when you should not read the cards. But when you have questions, if you can find a reader, then anytime. So what you do is you shuffle the cards and you pull a card. And you look at that card and you see that card for what it is. And when you see that card for what it is, then think about it. What's happening in the picture? What colors are in the picture? What's the mood in the picture? What's in the foreground? What's in the background? And how do you react to this picture? How do you feel? Was it painful? Did it make you smile? And if you're going to do this, you can do this probably for every day, a few minutes every day if you've got the cards, and take a little note each time about what you have found. Just a couple of sentences, nothing formal. You don't have to do a lot. It's not all that. But you do want to just bring a card out, look at it, read it for what it is, just look at what you see, and then kind of go through your day. And as you go through your day, you're going to, at the end of the day, think, what impact did that card have on me today? Because they will have some kind of an impact, good, bad, or indifferent. They're going to have some. In any event, it's an adventure that you have, and you can read it for yourself. There's no winning or losing. There's no right or wrong or anything else, except all you need to do is open that deck of cards that you've got at home and start looking at the pictures. That's all I have to say. And I want to thank you very, very much. If you come to Woodstock, I invite you to go to the Mowers Meadow Flea Market and get your cards read. Or other places. There are other tarot readers in town as well. And I invite you to enjoy the adventure of tarot and enjoy Woodstock. And thank you for your time today. And thank you, Ellen. Good evening. Thank you, Ellen. Bye.